Hello and thank you for listening to WRYAT, New Orleans' 5th-ranked public radio station. As always, we're broadcasting live from a prefabricated Home Depot shed located off of South Carrollton by the Popeyes.
Hi, I'm Pete.
And I'm Ken.
And we are the Crescent City Rootle Club.
It's the holiday season, fellow hunters, and nothing gets us more excited here at CCR Club than our annual excursions for holiday shoppers down at the Lakeside Mall.
I couldn't agree more. Now, as Ken just said, this episode we'll be making our annual pilgrimage to one of our favorite and most consistent hunting grounds, the Lakeside Mall. The mall was built in 1960, and ever since, it has been a mecca for holiday shoppers, and thus huntsmen such as Ken and myself.
I remember growing up, my daddy would take us all to the Metro Camp House for a weekend of big game hunting at Lakeside Mall. It was a yearly tradition that not only scratched our predatory itch, but also created countless fond memories with the family, like getting Dad out of lockup just in time for Christmas.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to create a few more of those fond memories for you this year, Ken. And while the hunting camp may not be there anymore, something that will almost certainly be there are prized shoppers.
You are absolutely correct there, Pete. This time of year, mature residents are in a frenzy to make final preparations before their winter hibernation, leading to a heavy influx of holiday shoppers. Last year, we were practically stepping on those Jefferson Parish shoppers as soon as we got out the truck.
And we expect this year to be no different. With the annual festive decor and hot deals of the mall stores, holiday shoppers can't help themselves but to come out in droves. Heck, it's just as much a holiday season for them as it is for us.
Exactly, Pete. Since they're so distracted by the environment and fanfare of the season, we likely won't even need to don our typical camo gear. The sheer number of shoppers and their resultant commotion should be more than enough to be our camouflage.
Let's hope so, Ken. But if it's anything like it's been in previous years, then we shouldn't have any issues going in business casual. And since we expect this trip to be a rather easy one in terms of spotting shoppers, we'll also be leaving our usual hunting implements at home in favor of a more aggressive hunting trip.
That's because today we're going to be using our trusty tranquilizer gun to knock a few shoppers out so we can tag them and track them.
By safely tranquilizing these shoppers, tagging, and releasing them, we can follow their migration patterns throughout the rest of the year, which will only help our understanding of these magnificent beasts and hopefully make the real hunts of the future a bit easier.
Oh, I can't wait to get out there, boy. And I know we won't be coming home from this trip with any prize in hand, but seeing all those shoppers going at it is a true spectacle of nature that will never cease to amaze me.
Same here, Ken. So let's go ahead and head on down to the Lakeside Mall before we miss any of those incredible deals and, of course, tagging all those holiday shoppers. Well, this is interesting. Unfortunately, listeners, it doesn't look like there are any shoppers out today.
Are you sure we're in the right place, Pete? I see a few cars in the parking lot, but that just might be employees.
Yeah, it's the right place, all right. I'd like to blame the weather for this poor showing, as it is a bit warmer than usual for this time of year, but warm weather like this typically causes shoppers to be more active, not less.
Strange indeed, Pete. I think I see a small family of shoppers in the distance beyond yonder bath and bed, but I'm hesitant to get too much closer since we expected a bit more cover from the surroundings.
Agreed. I'm getting a bit worried, Ken. Let's walk the grounds a bit and see if we come across any signs of shoppers.
Sounds like a plan, Pete. How about we make our way over to the food court? We always had luck there.
Good idea, Ken. It's worth a shot because anything would be better than what we're seeing now, which is nothing at all. Let's go.
Well, ain't this something? The food court is emptier than a bowl of gumbo at my family's Christmas dinner / Dad's bail posting celebration.
This certainly is disheartening, but I just wish we knew why it was all happening. Let's ask one of the employees if they've seen or heard anything that could point us in the right direction.
How about that Great American Cookie Company cashier over there? Excuse me, sir. Where are all the shoppers?
Huh?
The holiday shoppers. Where are they?
Usually, when we come here this time of year, we're overrun by holiday shoppers. Do you know why the mall is so empty this year?
Malls are like dying across this country. Online shopping is killing the retail store industry. We've been seeing decline in numbers for the past couple of years, actually.
That is indeed unfortunate to hear.
Well, Pete, what you thinking?
I'm a bit disappointed, Ken. Not just with the idea of changing times and the decline of the retail industry, but also with the lack of content for this episode of CCR Club. I mean, if we don't come across a shopper soon, then this whole hunting trip's gonna be a bust.
That would indeed be heartbreaking, wouldn't it? Oh, Pete, I got an idea.
What you got, Ken?
Hey, cookie cashier person, you shop, right?
I mean, yeah. When I need stuff, yeah. Why?
Well, you thinking what I'm thinking, Pete?
I think I am thinking what you're thinking, Ken. Would you like to do the honors?
I'm thinking absolutely.
Is that a gun? We have less than $20.
Tranquilizer! Oh, sleep.
Nice shot, Ken. I mean, I know he was right in front of us and all, but that's essentially what we'd be dealing with in the large crowds we were expecting anyway.
Woo! I feel like a kid again.
All right, well, let's tag him and get out of here before he wakes up. Maybe he'll lead us to the rest of the shoppers.
Fingers crossed, Pete. Fingers crossed.
All right, just gonna clip the tracking tag to his ear here. And done.
It's very nice. I know it's not the usual, but at least it's something.
Times are a-changing, Ken. And if the CCR Club doesn't change with it, then we'll be disappearing as quickly as the big box retail store industry.
I guess we'll be changing then, huh, Pete?
I reckon so, Ken. I reckon so.
Hey, you want to go get a coffee at Pacino's before heading back?
You read my mind, Ken. Thanks for joining us today, fellow Rootlers. Sorry we weren't able to live up to the expectations we set, but you know what they say. Sometimes hunting is like a box of chocolates.
You just don't want to be disappointed by the ones with the coconut filling.
Exactly. Well, happy hunting and merry holidays to you. And as always, thanks for listening.
Perfection, beauty, craftsmanship.
Hi, I'm Randy Dongle, owner of Randy's Necklace Hut, and those are all the words that we use to define our jewelry. You won't find a better deal in town on jewelry, and our selection of gems is the best around.
That's right, Randy. Hey, I'm Trish Dongle, Randy's sister, and the general manager of Randy's Necklace Hut. When Randy says you won't find a better deal in town, he means it, and he gets real angry if you beat his prices.
Shut up, Trish, I do not.
Please don't yell at me. You know what makes me nervous?
Jesus Christ, with the crying every time. Trish! Oh, you're leaving in the middle of our recording thingy. Great. Well, folks, it looks like it's just you, me, and all these amazing deals on jewelry left. So let's make it count. Come on down to the Necklace Hut and see what we're all about.
The Zoomer Boomer movie preview is about to begin in 3, 2, 1, action!
Hello, and welcome to the Zoomer Boomer Movie Preview, the show where two generations come together to talk about all things movies. I'm a 20-year-old film critic named Zoomer.
And I'm a 68-year-old film critic named Boomer.
And we love movies. Now, Boomer, as you know, it's the holidays, which means all kinds of movies are dropping. What movies make you want to yeet a Yule log this holiday season?
Well, Zoomer, I don't know what you're talking about because you're speaking absolute nonsense. But the biggest bit of gobbledygook dropping out of your mouth that this is the holiday season, it's the Christmas season. And that means Christmas movies, like the film Last Christmas, about how the magic of Christmas causes a young English woman to fall in love with an Asian. Because all that interracial stuff is trendy right now with all you young hipsters.
Before you get canceled, Boomer, let me note that Emilia Clarke's lovable working-class girl is thirsty for Henry Golding because he's an absolute hunk. But will that be enough to overcome the crushing pressures that arise when a minimum wage is not a living wage? Find out by going to see Last Christmas in theaters now.
Hey, Zoomer, your socialist bullshit and fluid sexuality are annoying. But that can't bring me down because Ford versus Ferrari is also in theaters. In a movie where an automaker proves to those stuffy Italians the superiority of American craftsmanship. Matt Damon shows he can actually do something good when he shuts his dumb, bleeding heart liberal mouth.
Well, Boomer, it makes sense that you'd be pulling for Ford, seeing as he was a Nazi sympathizer. However, I'm surprised you're not more excited about A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, starring Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I do love Tom Hanks. But this time would have been better spent making more World War II movies, showing how great my parents were. Instead, he stars in this movie glorifying the wussification of our nation's youth, wherein a so-called news reporter learns he can find happiness if he just sings Kumbaya with a grown man who changes his clothes in front of children.
Boomer, I'm always in awe of your need to live vicariously through military dramas, especially since you avoided seeing the battlefield yourself due to multiple bullshit deferments and the exploitation of a class-based draft system. It's almost as awesome as Tom Hanks' performance in this film, which has already earned nominations from the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice Awards.
Disney is throwing its hat into the blockbuster ring this winter with Frozen 2, a return to the world of Elsa the Snow Queen. This feminist propaganda will have your little girl humming in the lobby, in the car, and into her childless lesbian marriage 20 years from now.
Frozen 2 starts off where Frozen 1 ended, with a pair of sisters trying to find their place in a crazy world. But it'll still be less crazy than the world Boomer will leave your children, where they'll have trouble finding coral reefs, live bees, organic vegetables, and probably oxygen.
Oh, speaking of conspiracies, from lying nerds like Zoomer over here, Dark Waters will come out next weekend, and in it, Mark Ruffalo plays a lawyer who undercovers a plot from the DuPont Chemical Company to hide information related to deadly water contamination. It's based on a news article from the New York Times Magazine, which, if you wait 5 months, you'll find it in the fantasy section of your local video store, assuming some business actually buys a copy of this fake news buoy.
But the thing to keep in mind when you do go to rent this movie is video stores haven't existed for nearly 2 decades now. And Boomer could watch this and platform-produced movies like The Irishman on Netflix if he could just figure out how to use his Apple TV.
I know how to use my Apple TV, you little shit. It's just unreliable.
Okay, Boomer.
Don't okay Boomer me, punk. I will sue you for age discrimination so fast, you'll never leave your safe space again.
Dude, you're acting super extra right now, and I need you at a 4.
Oh, the special little snowflake wants me to do something. Okay, Zoomer.
Snowflake, you just said you were going to sue me for snatching your wig, my dude. Why don't you take a nap while I wrap this up?
Why don't you sit on it?
What does that even mean?
Go to hell.
Just die already, dickhead.
Anyway, those are the movies that are coming out this month. Join us next time when we discuss early Oscar contenders. Until then, I'm Boomer.
And I'm Zoomer.
And in the meantime, put down that cell phone and watch some celluloid.
Jesus Christ, you're old.
And you're an entitled punk.
Okay, Boomer.
Oh, stop saying that.
This has been the Zoomer Boomer Movie Preview.
Oh no, you shouldn't have. Oh my God, what have you done? Are you insane? What will your family say? Are you tired of hearing these things said to you in a negative way by people or person you love and adore in your life? Cutters. Hi, I'm Mr. D, middle initial P, last name Ress, at Cutters Jewels. And when I think about surprises, I think about Cutters. Nothing gets the blood flowing and the heart racing like hearing Cutters. We got good prices. What a time to be alive, right? Our pricing strategy is shock and awe. So we stock the store. Cutters. You can get diamonds in a hut or shack, but Cutters will always buy that diamond back. Every stammer and stutter begins with Cutters.
Hello, I'm Poco Coco, and my business is business. Live from the New Orleans Central Business District comes CBD on CBD, the show where New Orleans business leaders get together to talk trade and take hard drugs. With us today is molasses commodities trader Alphonse Robichaud VIII.
My friends call me Toffee.
Welcome, Toffee.
My friends call me Toffee. Seeing as how you're not on the board of the Rex organization, you can call me Mr. Robichaud, boy.
Sure thing, Mr. Robichaud. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely your pleasure. I'm only here because this is just a favor for the owner of the WRYAT station.
Well, thank you regardless. Also with us is Mr. Xander Platt, New Orleans port magnate, and the founder of the nonprofit Golf Clubs for Tots. Hello, Mr. Platt.
Oh, shucks, Poco. Why, that introduction was prettier than a debutante in apple butter.
I appreciate that. Now, let's open with a question for you, Mr. Platt. As a former NOLA port chairman and the man with right of first offer for container rental contracts, what are your thoughts on finding the appropriate staff for task delegation?
Well, Coco, that's a mighty fine question. It reminds me of my daddy's old saying, when you stir the creek, you scatter the catfish. Finding skills in today's workforce is like buying mixed drinks for co-eds.
I'm sorry, let me interrupt you real quick. As is tradition on this show, we go slow at first. Before we start, can I offer you a mouthwash cap full of CBD oil?
Why, I'd be delighted, I would.
Great, I'll join you.
Ooh-wee! That mule will kick sassafras. Anyway, so skill in the job market. What was I saying?
Haha, I don't remember.
Neither do I, Bullfrog.
Well, let me come back to you then. In the meantime, Mr. Robichaux, you rely on traders for day-to-day operations, correct?
Well, the majority of our revenue comes from long-term investments, but much of our portfolio diversification is buttressed by a financing force of knowledge workers.
Great. Based on that, I'd like to ask you where you see automation trends headed in the commodities market in the next year. But first, would you like a bump of cocaine?
Jesus, no. That's abhorrent. How dare you offer me anything lower than a Peruvian blend? You're going to kill me with that low-quality Mexican-grade garbage. Thankfully, I anticipated that you'd be such a gauche commoner, and I brought my own. Now, I said, God damn, that's good shit.
Ha, great. Now on to the question. How do you feel about automation?
It's fantastic. It's tremendously fantastic. As a trend, I like automation more than I like tax breaks, and I like tax breaks more than I like deferred costs, if you know what I mean.
I do not. What do you mean?
I will suck a dick for automation. Listen, anything that enables us to replace labor with wholly owned and unquestioning assets is the way, the truth, and the granny fucking light. Robots can't strike, and robots don't need medical care. And until we can lobby the Senate to allow us to lobotomize anyone with less than 1 million in stock options, we need to pursue the complete replacement of all lower classes if we in the Rex organization are to ever achieve the regional goals set by the Bohemian Grove Council. Wait, did I say that aloud or just think that? Are they still recording? I need more cocaine!
Excellent. Thank you for your insight, Mr. Robichaux. Mr. Platt, do you have any comments?
Well, it's kind of like my daddy used to say whenever he charred a T-bone. The meat may sizzle, but the bone will burn.
I can't argue with that. Would you like some benzos, blues, ludes, or ketamine?
As the snake said to the stork, get me high, brother.
All right, here you go. And here's some water.
Just like Mama used to make.
So on a different topic, you're a man who's seen a large variety of freights cross the river. How have international tariff adjustments affected the kinds of goods the stevedores see come across the docks?
Stevedore. Steve O'Dore.
I have to agree, Mr. Platt. Mr. Robichaux, anything to add?
I want more cocaine! More cocaine!
I have some heroin if you'd like.
No cocaine, you prattling idiot!
Okay, no problem. I still have this stuff from Mexico.
Give me my cocaine, you selfish miser. Fuck yes, that rush is better than the last time the Fed lowered interest rates. Oh, that rush is better than throwing cheap beads at poor people's heads.
Hey, partner. If you're offering heroin, I'll be your Huckleberry. Bring her here. Ooh, that's smoother than a baby turtle's belly.
Mr. Platt, are you still awake? Are you still alive, Mr. Platt?
Forget him! Talk to me! I am the real king of Rex! I am a real king! Ah!
Mr. Robichaux! Mr. Robichaux! Come back! That door locks when it closes! Oh dear. I guess that's the show, loyal listeners. Join us next time when we talk to the president and CEO of the New Orleans Chamber of Commerce, and maybe we can get him to inject some methamphetamines between his toes. For CBD on CBD, I'm Poco Coco. Good night.
Rocks by Robert. Hey, you. You goofed up on Christmas again, didn't you? You ain't planning and saved to get something nice for your loved ones because you're a jerk. Well, that's where I come in, huh? I'm Robert, and I'm a jerk too, and I'm in a jerk business, all right? Rocks by Robert. I'm the type of jerk who runs a discount diamond jewelry shack store for all your last-minute jewelry gift needs. Real cheapo stuff, too. We're talking legitimate discount diamonds. Not wannabe discount diamonds like that pig schmuck Mr. D offers at Cutters, you know? Rocks by Robert. Everyone likes something expensive for Christmas, but, you know, you're a jerk. Maybe you're a broke jerk, or maybe you're a rich jerk who don't want to shell out your big bucks at Randy's necklace hut. So what the hell do? You just buy him something that looks expensive, you cheapskate. I can't believe I have to tell you that. But yeah, we got plenty of passable jewel stones here at our legitimate jewel stone type establishment. I mean, we got jewels in all shapes, and we got them in blue and some green, purple. We'll do custom stuff too, like cut the letters NOLA out of cardboard, just spackle the crap out of them with our fake quartz. Real quartz sequins, it's easy. They'll love it. Maybe. You don't care, they don't care. Who cares? Rocks by Robert. I don't know what else I gotta tell you folks. I mean, we offer cheap-ass jewelry with sliding scale extended high-interest financing for all your last-minute jerks who just kinda need to pick up whatever gaudy crap will be good enough to fulfill your holiday gift obligations on time and under budget. It's a hard time of year, because it's always a hard time of year, and we understand that at Rocks by Robert. Rocks by Robert! We're not like the rich fake family values folk or Randy's Necklace Hut or the poster discount crybaby huckster Mr. D at Cutters, nah. We're like you. Just grinding away and doing a bare minimum to get by. You know, if it's good enough for a jerk like you, it's good enough for jerks like us. Sounding good to you yet? Making sense? And get here already. We're located at, well, we don't have an address proper per se, you know, with the fancy numbers and all that. But you know how there's that prefab shack next to the Popeyes in South Carrollton? I wandered/broke in there to find it was a recording radio type place, and you know, I asked/said I would leave if they would let me record a commercial for my jewelry business. So yeah, we're close to that radio shack. If you can find our radio shack, you can find our rock shack, rock store. It's like across the parking lot there, more or less. You know, general area. A big sign that says the name of the shack store. Rocks by Robert, because you can't hit rock bottom without picking up a couple of rocks along the way. Why not ours? Rocks by Robert!
Good day to you all, fair listeners. My name is Wimpy the Wise, New Orleans' #1 hustler, and today I'll be sharing some of my tips and tricks to help you up your street hustle game. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am a lifelong New Orleans resident who makes his living off the streets, but I do not live on the streets. I live in an Algiers double that was completely paid for from street hustling by yours truly. But Wimpy, I thought all street hustlers and panhandlers was homeless vagrants. False. That's just complete misinformation right there, because I know several incredibly talented and financially secure hustlers just like myself. But unlike me, they aren't the best, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, the head honchos here at WRYAT was so impressed with my panhandling skills down in the quarter that they offered me a show right here on the radio to share some of my industry secrets. So in a way, I hustled WRYAT for my own financial advice show. Another win for Wimpy, yes indeed. And all the more reason you should take my advice, you know what I'm saying? So let's not dilly-dally any further and jump right into the damn thing, because who doesn't want some extra spending cash around the holiday season? Okay, so over 17 million people visit New Orleans every year, and they're just dying to have a good time and spend their money right here in our beloved city. Naturally, most of these tourist dollars are spent on food and entertainment. I know a lot of you might not have expert cooking skills, and even less of you are willing to get a food vendor license, so selling food is out. But what about those entertainment dollars? Now, I know we all know New Orleans is a very entertaining place with the jazz and the comedy and the gang violence, but what could be more entertaining than a highly personalized and unique interaction with a NOLA native? That's where Wimpy comes in, and who doesn't want to be like Wimpy the Wise? I could talk for days about different solicitation tactics, but this is my first show, so let's just start with one of the basics, shall we? Where them shoes at? A classic New Orleans hustle I'm sure you're all familiar with. Some of you may have even fell victim to this classic hustle at one point in time. In this bit, the hustler imposes a statement, "Hey, I bet I know where you got them shoes at," towards a dumbass tourist, and the tourist takes him or her up on the bet. Because how in the world does this stranger know where I got my shoes? Typically, this hustle would work by a simple play on language with a, "You got 'em on your feet, dumbass, give me $1. It's a simple riddle that's harmless, entertaining, and impossible to lose. But as the years have passed, expectations have changed. Tourists are on to the simple riddle and no longer are impressed with the basic wordplay. So these days, us true hustlers actually know where you got them shoes. That being said, I highly recommend getting down to the local library and researching some different brands of shoes, as well as the retailers that carry them. Now, you don't have to learn about all the different shoes and shoe stores out there like Wimpy did, but the bigger your mental catalog of shoes and shops, the more opportunities you shall have. Once you have a good knowledge of shoes and their distributors, then it's time to target yourself a mark. Obviously, you're going to want to find someone with shoes on that you're now familiar with. Now, this is where you're going to need a keen eye and sharp wit, as you don't know where the mark is from initially. You're going to want to use context clues to fill in the blank. Like, if the mark looks wealthy or well-to-do, then maybe they got their shoes from Steve Madden or maybe the Nike employee store. If they're looking a little worse for wear, then maybe pay less. If they look athletic or sporty, then something like Foot Locker or Academy. Once you got them in your sight and have an idea where their shoes were purchased, it's time to make your move. This is where you quickly approach the mark and engage them. "Excuse me, sir. Bet I know where you got them shoes." Now, ideally, a tourist will bite at your line, as locals will tend to just ignore you. If they take you up on the bet, then at this point you can use your shoe and shoe store knowledge to impress them in return for a small, prearranged bet amount of your choosing. Once you've settled on a bet amount, then drop the truth on them and collect. They'll be stunned for sure, oh yes. But if you really want to give them an experience they'll never forget, then take some time to brush up on regional dialects so you can tell exactly where in the country your mark got their shoes after speaking to them. Nothing is more impressive than telling a visitor something like their shoes were purchased at a Skechers store in Santa Monica and being right. I've even had a tourist just throw their whole wallet at me and run away screaming something about voodoo once with this trick. Guaranteed win every time, yes it is. I'd recommend starting with small bets when you first start telling them where they got their shoes. No need to risk breaking the bank on lost bets as you're just starting to get a feel for this hustle. But as you get more comfortable, feel free to increase your bet amount. My personal record is $534 for knowing that some visiting businessman bought his kicks in West Michigan from Aldo Shoes in 2017. Well, that's all I got for you all today. Can't give away too many secrets away at once, lest I do end up living on the streets. So join me next time to learn how to set up your own child bucket drummer hologram where you can just set it and forget it. Y'all didn't really think them kids was real, did y'all? Anyway, so long, and remember, I know where you got them shoes.
Every day, thousands of catch basins are abandoned and left to suffer alone. Many abandoned basins will become clogged, waiting for someone to help. This holiday season, thousands of innocent, loving catch basins will be abandoned, left alone to suffer and become obstructed, and they need your help right now. Please call today or go online and join the LCBAC with a monthly gift. For just $18 a month, only 60 cents a day, you'll help rescue catch basins that have been left to clog, and you'll provide cleaning, maintenance, and love. It's the greatest gift you can give to a basin who really needs you. Call or join online right now we'll send you a photo of a catch basin in the shelter, one who's been given a second chance, thanks to you. You'll also receive free subscription to Sewage and Water Board Weekly, and if you call or join online in the next 30 minutes, we'll send you a beautiful WRYAT tote bag absolutely free. There is a catch basin waiting for your help. Please, call right now.
And that's this week's episode. Next week, we check in with our friend, Mr. Lee in Araby.
It's an adequate day in Araby. Adequate day for Mr. Lee. Hunker down and chill. Drink. Get settled. Hello, children. How is everyone dealing with that time change? It's hard losing that end of the day while you play light, isn't it?
Ronnie and Donnie celebrate Christmas on the next episode of Boat Talk.
Hey folks, Donnie and Ronnie Damico here from Boat Talk to tell you that we got the perfect present for you this year.
That's right, my brother and I recorded a wholesome Christmas record full of fun Boat Talk twists on your favorite holiday tunes there.
It's called A Very Goddamn Boat Talk Christmas.
Our record makes a great gift for listeners of all ages and is sure to become a Yuletime fixture for every holiday season.
Join me and my brother as we take the boat out and serenade you with our very special versions of holiday hits.
And WRYAT resident DJ Loop Guru will walk us through his favorite Christmas albums.
Yeah, ha, everybody, you know it's the holiday season. And when I think about the holiday season, I think about some holiday songs. 3 songs come to mind.
All this and a few more surprises on the WRYAT Christmas Spectacular. Thank you for joining and listening to some live local talking.
This is WRYAT New Orleans Guerrilla Radio. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.